guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a little bit something different. This is a good customer of ours car. We've already done the full PPF on it, except for the rear bumper because he was waiting on all the parts to come in for his Z07 spoiler. So some of the main differences are this spoiler is the high wing and it only has 2 mounting spots. This factory spoiler has 10 bolt holes going across. So what we've done is we've taken this factory bumper off already. We've swapped everything over, including the diffuser, the tail lights, the wiring harness. It was just a nice simple move it from that bumper to this bumper. And then the reason we had to do a new bumper is so you don't have all these extra holes from this bumper showing through. This bumper just has these 2 main brackets right here that spoiler will mount to. So we won't have any extra holes. He wanted to do it the right way. He wanted to order the car with the Z07 package originally, but it was on constraint. So we're going to show you how to do this by adding it using all factory parts. We have all the factory hardware, all the factory brackets, factory spoiler, factory bumper. So we're going to show you the correct way to do it. So what I've done is I've mocked up these factory brackets just with one bolt because I know where these go. And we're going to mock the bumper on so we can make sure that these top bolts line up with the spoiler brackets. So I've just put one in there, and this bracket has an elongated hole so you can move it in or out. And then that's how we'll figure out where we need to adjust before I mount everything. Because once I mount and drill all of these, you won't be able to move it at all. So I want to make sure that we're in the right spot. All right, so we have our bumper mocked up here. And what we're doing is just making sure that these brackets are in the right spot. And they're just a little bit off, so we need to move both of them out. So these bolt holes line up, but they're like half a hole off. So not too far at all. But everything else looks like it's gonna fit perfectly. So we'll get our brackets moved out just a little bit and then test fit it again. So we've test fitted the bumper, saw that the holes were just about half a hole off. So I can loosen these and move them out just enough to adjust it, and then we'll tighten them back down. We'll test fit it again just to make sure. Looks like these holes will line up now. So now we can drill and mount the rest of them. And we know that these holes will line up when we go to put the spoiler on. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and mount the rest of these. Now that we know our bracket's gonna line up.
I feel like we should be waiting for the touch-up paint to do these two. Just. Hey. Hey, you do it. You do it. You do it. You do it.
Okay, so not everything was perfectly lining up. So we took the tail lights out so we could see this bracket and this bracket. So what we're doing is we're going to bolt these two brackets together, and then I'll mark with a silver Sharpie where I need to drill these bolts and mount the studs and rivets. And that'll help us get it exactly where we need it. Don't even mind that. There. Now, we know exactly where to mount these two. And I can mark with a Sharpie where to drill these holes. Might be able to see a little more on this side. Put a guide right here so I can see where my bracket needs to be. All right, so just to make sure that this bracket doesn't move, I can get my drill in there. I'm gonna go ahead and drill this one out, mount the stud and the rivet and the nut. So hopefully this bracket won't move anywhere once I take these bolts out, and I'll do that on both sides. I'm gonna mount this stud and I'm gonna angle the backside of the bracket towards the outside, so when I rivet it, my rivet will be out here and it won't hit this bracket. I'll angle all that before I tighten it. It's just finger tight right now. And that drill. And then rivet it. Really good. Then you can tighten that down. I'm gonna do it. That way when we take this back off, this will stay right where we need it. All right, so now that we got everything where we want it, this is snug. We're gonna go ahead and drill for these. And we can mount our studs and then drill for our rivets. Again, just make sure you angle it out, and then this one will have to angle down so it goes into that circle. So you don't want to rivet it into the bracket. Forgot to grab nuts. I put these nuts on just finger tight, just to make sure that the bracket doesn't move while I'm drilling it for the rivet. Okay, for the rivets, I'm using a 3/16 drill bit. For the studs, I use a 1/4 inch, just FYI. Stick them through. Again, make sure you angle it into where the hole is so you don't try to drill into the bracket for your rivet. And the bottom one just angle out away from the bracket. And of course, once we're all done, we'll vacuum all of this out. Make sure it's nice and clean. Will you be able to mute the music in the background when I'm not talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
It really doesn't pick up too much.
Good. So now that I got my back bracket where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and tighten all of these back up so that we know that that's where it's going to stay. It won't move on us, and we'll check the bumper one more time just to make sure that these are right where we need them. I don't know if this one started or not. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Every C8 and C7 bumper has these little shims on top. You just remember where they go and reshim it. Yeah. Between the top of the tub and the bottom of this black piece on the bumper. All right, here's the finished product. The bumper isn't completely mounted on yet, but we got everything on top. These brackets are solid. We'll mount this spoiler as well. so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. But it will go on just about like that, something like that. But we're gonna PPF this whole rear bumper and the spoiler since it's all new. So we're gonna leave this off to make our lives a little bit easier, and then we'll mount it once it's all PPF'd. All right, guys, so where we left off, we were test fitting this bumper, got our brackets and everything mounted and fastened where they need to go. Got the spoiler mounted and bolted. It's not going anywhere, very sturdy. We got the spoiler PPF, the rear bumper PPF'd. Now the customer requested we add these edge red Corvette script emblems. So we're gonna do that. And nice thing about doing factory emblems is GM sends this nice template. So there's no second guessing where anything goes. You just peel and stick. It's really convenient. Just center it up and stick it. This will go really nice with the edge red emblems that he has on the sides for the Z06 emblems. All right, guys, so that wraps up installing this Z07 wing on a C8 Z06 using all OEM parts, brackets, hardware, everything. And then, of course, we finished it off with our PPF and ceramic just to make sure he's got that extra protection. If you're in the Omaha area and you have any questions or concerns or want to just stop by and talk about it, we can absolutely do this. And we can also do any PPF, ceramic, detail, anything like that. So go ahead, if you don't mind, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video.